wants us to solve this quadratic equation. It's a quadratic equation because it's got an x squared term in it. So, in order to solve a quadratic equation, definitely on a non-calculator paper, we have to factorise it. The first job is to factorise it. So that means putting it into two brackets. And we know that the two numbers at the front have to times together to make 6, and the two numbers at the end have to times together to make 12. So we've got a few options. The fronts could be 6 and 1, or 3 and 2. And I always check the 3 and the 2 first before the 6 and the something, unless it has to be unless it was a 3x squared, then it would have to be 3 and 1. I would always check the 1 and something last, just because, from my experience, it's more common that it's another sort. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the right way around. The next thing to do is find our two numbers at times to make 12. So that's either 1 and 12, 2 and 6, or 3 and 4. Now straight away I can cross out that as an option. It's definitely not going to be that one. And there's two reasons why. If these two numbers here were both even, so if I had two even numbers here and here, the x term would have to be even as well, because if I'm making even numbers, like 3 times an even number will be even, 2 times an even number will be even, I'm going to definitely get an even number, and I don't have an even number, so it can't be 2 and 6. That leaves me with two options, 1 and 12, and it's hardly ever the 1 and again, so I'm going to check that second. It might be 3 and 4, but we don't know which way round. So it's either this way round, or, that's a terrible bracket, this way round. Oops, not 4, 2. And we have to work out which one will give us a 1x term. Because we know we're going to get 6x squared, we know we're going to get a 12, so we only have to check the things that give us x's. So I would get an x here, which is 12x's, and here, which is 6x's. But those two, there's no way I can get a 1 out of those two. With pluses and minuses, there's just no way. So I don't think that's the right option. What do I get with this bottom option? Well, here I get 8x's, and here I get 9x's, and that does give me a 1x. I, in particular, want a minus 1x. So how can I make these two numbers give me a minus 1? Well, if I did 8 take away 9, that would give me minus 1. So I'm going to want to have plus 8 and negative 9. That's still equal to 0. That will now give me my expanded version. So why have I done this? Why do I want to have it written like this? The plus there and a minus there. Well, what we can now do is say, well, one of my brackets can be worth 0, because if I've got two things times in to make 0, one of them needs to be 0. So either this bracket, that's 3x plus 4, equals 0, or the other bracket does 2x minus 3 equals 0. This is now a little equation that I can solve to get what x is, because remember solve, which is what the question's asking for, means find out x. So if I now take away 4 and divide by 3, that will get me x on its own. The best way to divide by 3 is to just write over 3 when it doesn't properly divide. So there's one answer. X can be minus 4 over 3. Or we've got this other option here. I can add on 3 for this one and divide by 2. So add on 3 gives me 2x equals 3. And then when I divide by 2, again I can just write over 2. I get 3 over 2. So one option is minus 4/3, and my other option is 3 over 2. They're my two answers.